Alright guys, this is a video that I've been wanting to make, and I've actually recorded this once before, but I didn't really like how I presented the message that I'm trying to get across, so I didn't post that one. So I'm going to try again, and it's really to answer one of the main questions, if not the main question I get, and that is, why are you trapping? And it's not a simple answer, because there are lots of reasons why somebody would trap. If you are anti-trapping, none of the reasons that I give you are probably going to change your mind. I don't even know if I'm trying to change your mind. I'm just trying to perhaps give you more insight as to why it's happening, and maybe offer some clarity. If it's a hard stance for you, then most likely I won't change your mind, and that's okay. So why do we trap? Let me start with why I trap. I am a nuisance trapper. So you have and this is from my state. I don't know all the regulations and license that you have to have in various states. This is from my state. So in my state, I am a nuisance trapper. I am a licensed nuisance trapper. So you can have a fur license, which allows you to trap in fur season. And you can additionally have a nuisance trapping license, which allows you to trap out of fur season, okay, with some stipulations. I am mostly paid to trap beavers. In Alabama, nuisance beaver, there is no season or bag limit for beaver, because they are on the nuisance list along with wild hogs, coyotes, and the list goes on a little ways, because of the damage that they can cause for agriculture, just lots of damage. This current job, and the reason I wanted to make the video while I'm here, is because this is a prime example, okay? That is obviously a culvert. This is a county road. The beavers plug up this culvert to the point to where it floods and washes away this county road. That is what all this sand and debris is here, because either the county has to hire somebody to come in and clean it out, or the property owner has to hire somebody to come and clean it out. Either one, they're going to pay somebody to clean it out, and they're going to pay somebody to trap these beavers, because if you clean it out, it's just going to keep happening again, and it's just going to be a waste of time, waste of tax dollars and such. So in this scenario, that's what they're doing. Somebody like me is called to trap the beavers to prevent that from happening again. This is just one scenario. I've had several jobs. One job where the beavers collapsed a pond dam, and if you don't know anything about building ponds or anything like that, ponds, to reconstruct a pond is very expensive. One job that I had, beavers had plugged a culvert in a driveway and had backed up a little bitty creek, about the size of this, maybe even smaller, backed up a little bitty creek, and the water was literally to my customers' doorsteps. So try and think of it for this scenario. What I'm doing is no different than when you have the termite guy come out and spray for termites to keep from messing up your home. When you have the rodent man come out, or you put traps out yourself for rats, because it's not that you just hate rats, it's just they can't live in your home. They're going to cause all kinds of problems. They're going to chew your wires. They can give you diseases. It's just a pest, and every animal has its place, but sometimes they get in the wrong place. And this is just a very basic, common sense solution to a problem that the county is having and this property owner is having. Because not only did the beavers plug up the culvert, they have made several dams back here. This is an old dam right here. Made several dams that in turn flood the property owner's property, which makes it lose value. That is one instance of why we trap. That is the main reason why I trap. I do not trap really for fur, but I do not have a problem with people that trap for fur. I do not trap for fur because there really isn't a market for fur. There are still some trappers out there, especially out west and up north, that trap for fur. And I think that that's great. I think that fur, real fur, is a natural resource that we should be able to use wisely. It has a lot less impact on the environment. If you harvest a wild animal, you get meat. For beavers, for instance, if you harvest the meat from that animal and you use the meat to feed yourself, and that's very common. People prepare wild beaver all the time. So that has a lot less impact on the environment than, you say, like fake fur. Like, well, I can't think of just fake fur, because that's made of like plastics and stuff like that, polymers, and those industries, those manufacturing plants, they have a lot bigger negative impact on the environment and wildlife than someone harvesting fur the correct way. So again, I doubt any of this changes your mind if you are anti-fur or anti-trapping. This is just insight as to some of the reasons. Like I said, it just makes sense if the beavers are causing this kind of problem here, that you would remove the issue. Just like if a rat was in your home, you would remove the rat from your home. If I wanted to, behind me, this creek goes way back, and in the very back there is a giant swamp, okay? And that's where the beavers are coming from. Beavers are very territorial, and they will push out younger members, right? So I'm not for certain that's what's happening, but they have left their swamp back here, and they are moving out, and they're plugging the county culvert here, flooding this property here. If it was a matter of I just hate beavers, or I just don't respect them, or I'm just wanting to catch every single one, I would be back there where they're living at, trapping where they're living at, you know. But I'm only working along this creek right here and on these dams, trying to relieve the county and that's and the property owner. That's as basic as I can get it. And like I said, the goal wasn't to change somebody's mind on why we trap, but to just give insight and maybe shed some clarity. Now, some of you, or I mean, people have asked me this before: why can't you catch the beavers and relocate them? Well, for one, I'd have to look at the regulations again, but there's some stipulations on relocating nuisance wildlife. So I'm not for certain if it's legal for me to do. Government agencies, they may be able to do it, but I'm not certain if I can do it. And if I take these beavers and I relocate them to another property, they're going to do the same thing to somebody else's property. So that's not feasible to do either. So I'm not going to catch all of the beaver out of this system here, out of this water system. All I'm trying to do, all the county was trying to do, all the property owner wants me to do is relieve this culvert to where it's not washed out anymore and resources aren't being spent to fix it. This is a way of doing that. Legal trapping is a way of doing that. So I hope that this has given some clarity, and I'm fairly certain there's still going to be a bunch of people that disagree with me, and that's fine. There's no rule that says that we all have to agree with each other, but we can still be friendly towards each other. So I'm trying to think if I've covered everything on the question, why are you trapping? That's the main reason I trap. Like I said, I'm not a fur trapper. There isn't really a market for fur right now, especially in the South. I'm just a licensed nuisance trapper. Like I said, I'm called whenever beavers are flooding things. I've been called to catch groundhogs that were digging up under somebody's house. Nuisance trapping, that includes fox. So let's just say the fox is raiding the hen house or something like that. That's when a nuisance trapper would be called in to catch that specific fox, or multiple foxes if that was the case. I've trapped coyotes before. I think I'm starting to talk in circles here, but I believe that I've given what I believe to be a simple explanation as to why I trap. I hope it's been helpful, and to me it's pretty simple. Beavers are plugging the culvert. You clean the culvert, the government cleans the culvert, beavers plug it again. It's just going to be that process unless you take some of the numbers out, enough of the numbers out to where they stay back in their home, their swamp. So I hope this has helped. If you do have any questions, I'm not afraid to ask or answer questions. I do ask that you be polite in the comments when you ask these questions, and let me know what you think, and we will see y'all on the next one. Y'all be good.